What's going on, everybody? It's me, Comic Crack. Let's check the audio. I think that's good. No chat this weekend. We went and got a Christmas tree and had that sorted for us for the day. My wife is on a show where they're working Saturdays, so Sunday was the only day off. We got the tree up. We're ready. My brother comes into town this weekend, but I'm hoping that Rasa and I can still do a chat on Sunday anyway. I think his flight lands at like 12:15 a.m. Saturday. So I don't think that should interfere much. We're going to have, for those of you maybe who listen to Dead Air, if not, I'd have a radio show with the family. We try to make it every Saturday. We don't end up making it, though, on 101.5 UMFM. It's the University of Manitoba radio station. They have stuff archived, just a few episodes. But we're going to do 2 weeks of Christmas music this year. There's a lot to choose from, so we're going to do 2 weeks in a row of all Christmas songs. So that should be fun. We kind of run the gamut on that show. All of us have kind of different tastes, but yet I think it makes for interesting listening. I don't know about anybody else out there, but there you go. So today was sort of a new comic book day for me. I don't get to the shop every single week. And then there's some shops that I get to even less. Unit 204, or not Unit 204, sorry. 204 Comics is the one that I don't get to very much. It's a bit of a drive away. I have a small pull list there. I finally made it there today. Picked up some new books. I went for one book in particular, and then as it happens, I end up looking around. He's got like 50-cent and dollar bins as well too that kind of keep getting replenished. So I pulled a bunch out of there. So maybe we'll start with some of those books. So I'm continuing on with buying doubles of books I already have that I can then either, I don't know, eventually sell or maybe trade or use as giveaways. I mean, Rasa is well aware of receiving a couple of packages from me every year with kind of doubles of books that I really like. So there was a small stack of doubles, and I had to grab them. Right off the bat, there was a bunch of Matt Howarth there. So it's Contaminated Zone. It's the entire 3-issue miniseries from Brave New Words. So all 3 of those, a no-brainer. 2 issues of Uber Dub. This was on Brave New Words as well. This was a 3-issue miniseries. I do have the full thing. From what I remember, this is a pretty good one. It has kind of special guest star each episode. Or each issue, rather, special kind of musical guest. So those were kind of good finds. This one will definitely make its way into a future Rasa package, because I know I sent her issue 3 of 3 last time. So they had this one. It's in beautiful shape as well. I'm actually going to double check with the copy that I have in the archives to see if this one's in better condition than the one I have. It still has like the kind of creaks of a comic that hasn't been opened. So beautiful stuff. One more issue of that. Another one that I have, this is the slave labor of the Jam. What is this, 1990 or something? 1989. Talked about the Jam before. Love it. Bernie Moreau, great series. The only issue that they had there, unfortunately, it would have been great to find a kind of stack of these ones. Another issue of Den. I feel like I might have sent her this issue in the last care package. I don't remember. So I grabbed it anyway because it's Richard Corbin. I don't think you can go wrong grabbing any Richard Corbin stuff. Tales from the Outer Boroughs. I was really disappointed they didn't have any more of these issues. I like this book. I think I only have 2 issues, 1 and 2, I think. This is Fantagraphics. 1991 is when this came out. So when it comes to kind of the world of, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, outlaw comics, I don't know, black and white boom, the golden age, small press, independent. This is a stellar issue. I've already got a copy of this one, but I couldn't resist getting another copy of this. This is Shadow Warrior. The cover is fantastic. The interiors are equally as good, though, in all its black and white glory. Like, this is a really fantastic book. I'm sure I read it at some point, and the story was, as you can probably tell, probably fairly generic, but the art in this is pretty damn gorgeous, so couldn't pass on getting another copy of this. Good looking stuff there. And finally, for the doubles, this is Mr. X. I think this is from volume 2, issue number 11. 1990 is what that says. Yeah. Who's on art at this time here? Where's the credits? Written Jeffrey Morgan, produced and directed by, starring Disraeli on pencils, Ken Halchensky on inks. Looks pretty sharp. I think I'm missing quite a few issues from this volume 2. This was, again, the only issue that they had in the bins, though, from Vortex Comics there. So that's all the doubles. Building up a nice stack. For new books, the new Sacrificers issue. This is issue number 5. I'm going to be sitting down to read this tonight. I won't even open it up because I don't want to spoil anything, even for myself. It's been great so far. I'm curious to see where this goes, this issue, now that we're following another one of our main characters into whatever it is she's going to get herself into. But I'm looking forward to it. This was the book that I went there for. The Sickness issue number 3 came out, and I wanted to grab myself a copy of it. I started to read it this afternoon, and I was kind of overwhelmed, honestly, with all of the words in it. You know, them damn words. And I feel like I'm a bit lost. So I think at this point I need to maybe read all 3 issues back to back. I'm very curious about this issue, though. I'm excited about this series. I'm very curious as to where this is going to go now that we're on kind of the 3rd issue. Another pretty stellar cover there by Jenna Cha. Uncivilized Books, if you want to kind of dig in. Nice ad in the back for some of their other ones too, and kind of showing, you know, the cover game that they're getting into, especially as Sickness number 1 goes into its 3rd printing, which is pretty wild. Sickness number 1, 3rd edition, couple of different covers for it. Sickness number 2, and then this is going to be, there's number 3 variant cover, and there's number 4's variant cover. So it says December 2023. This is chapter 3. It is December 2023. Is it coming out pretty damn quick? I guess so. Another one I'm very excited about. I actually didn't know this was out already. This is the Raphael Grandpa Batman Gargoyle of Gotham. Very much looking forward to this one. We talked about issue number 1 when it came out. I kind of liked it. I'm curious where they're going to go, where he's going to go with the character here. I don't know how many issues this is going to be, but I'm really looking forward to it. Grandpa is an incredible artist. I mean, look at those pages. Jesus. Yeah, looks great. Very excited about that. Another one I'm pretty excited about, Faceless and the Family, just to kind of dive into Lesniewski's art in here. It's just fucking stunning stuff. I liked the story enough for the first time. It kept me turning the pages, but yeah, that art is just unbelievable. And who says new comics are bad? Like, look at these four new comics. Tell me there isn't good stuff to pick from, you know? One that he threw in for free for me. This is Unnatural Order from Vault Comics. I don't know this. He had a huge stack of them, so I don't know if maybe it was a promo thing. It looks pretty good, though. I definitely like the looks of it. And for free, I will try a book out for sure. So I don't know anything about it, but there you go. And actually, we'll look at that one last. There's one other book that's new, but let's go through the kind of back issues that I found for myself. Rich Buckler's Secrets of Drawing Comics, issue number 4. I think this went 5 issues or something, this How to Draw Comics. There was a bunch of these in that era. This is 1986, right in the heart. Bet you this is in Jim Rugg's $95 black and white independent zine. Am I bitter? Nah, of course not. So that looks interesting, you know. It'll be fun to kind of poke through that, see what's in there. Pretty fucking excited about this one. Mike Allred and Bernie Moreau, The Everyman, a one-shot from Epic Comics. I've never seen this book. The cover jumped out at me, obviously, as Allred. And when I flipped to the back, you can see Bernie Moreau all over there. That is a hell of a matchup, those two. It has them both on art, but it looks like it might be a mix, because sometimes page to page, it looks like one page might be all Allred, and then you see touches of Bernie on some other pages really heavily. So very curious about this one. This is kind of top of the stack as well, too. 1991 on this one. Yeah, so creators, they have them listed as creators. Michael D. Allred and Bernie Moreau. Killer. Only 2 issues. I dug and I dug and I dug. Only 2 issues of The Legend of Mother Sarah, City of the Children. This is Katsuhiro Otomo. 7-issue series from Dark Horse. I know the title. I may have seen an issue in the past. I've never seen it. I haven't seen it very often. I was very hopeful that there would be more. Unfortunately, these were the only 2 issues, number 2 and number 5. But I figured I should grab them regardless, because I know some of this Otomo stuff, like Domu specifically, is pretty hard to come by for a good price. They kind of go for some money. I don't know if that's the same for this one, but I just figured I should grab it regardless, because this might be one of those that's not cheap or easy to track down. So a couple of issues. It looks fantastic. I don't know this story. Yeah, I'm curious, really curious to dig into that. I finally decided to pick up some Dragon Force from Aircell, and I picked up 4 issues. These were the earliest ones that he had, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The first 4 issues are a little smaller in format, and they have the bonus of being in color, and these motherfuckers are gorgeous. These are just something to look at. Who do we have for, where's the credits here? No credits on that one. It is quite a style. I can't even pinpoint exactly. It's so familiar of a bunch of different artists But I really like the color treatment on these. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it was the first 4 issues that were in color. There was also another series, Dragon Force, was it Dominion or something? There was 1 issue of that in the bins as well. And honestly, looking at these, they had a scattering of some of the other issues. I figured I'd get some that were in a row. I kind of regret not just grabbing all the issues that they had in the bin. And next time I'm there, if they are still there, I'll probably just end up grabbing them all. This is 1988 Air Cell. Dragon Force, Dale Keown. Yes. So there you go. There's the credits there. Yeah, I'm really into these color issues here. I'll show you a couple of the black and white pages as well. There's issue number 5. Still looks sharp, really thick black outlines. There's Josh Baer is being has an interview on Noah Van Sciver, and coming home from bowling tonight, I was listening to some of it, and he was talking about early days with his big, bold black outline. And he was kind of talking about like the beauty of Winsor McKay doing similar things, but having this really delicate line inside of that bold black line. You're not seeing any kind of delicacy here. These are kind of carved into the page here with their chunky black marks. Yeah, this looks really sharp, man. I kind of dig the looks of that. So there you go. So 4 issues of Dragon Force. This was another surprise to me. Matthias Schultheis. And I think, yes, I was right. I was like, I know that fucking name. I think I have some Comcat. What is this? This is Catalan. So Bell's Theorem. This is a German artist. I knew that I recognized the name. I'm glad I picked them up. These ones were in bags, and I just picked them up because they were cheap and figured I'd look into it later on. So he did this book, Bell's Theorem, which I dug. He was a creator that I wasn't familiar with. But pretty nice storytelling in this one from what I remember. Time travel tale, I believe, and some really nice looking art. So seeing him doing something at Dark Horse, what does that say? I think that says this was an 8-issue miniseries. No idea if they all came out. I imagine they did. I don't think Dark Horse was one of those publishers that kind of abandon a project. It looks pretty good. So I'm very curious about this book. I got issue number 1 and 2. That's all that they had. Again, digging through the bins, hopeful to find some more, but no luck. Just the first 2 issues. But the coloring looks very similar to Bell's Theorem. Maybe a little more kind of, I love these kind of, I don't know, these kind of vibranty neon type of colors in here. This greens and these pinks look really nice. So similar color palettes that we saw on Bell's Theorem, but looks a little tighter, but that might be because it's smaller, right? Yeah, it looks pretty appealing. Again, I don't know anything else about this Propeller Man, but glad to have a couple of issues. Curious. Oh, look at that. The card's still intact. Damn. Slab this shit. Daryl D, how are you? Nice to see you. Hopefully the audio is picking up okay. The microphone's a bit farther away from me than normal. You're just in time, Daryl. Because last but certainly not least, finally, Volume 1 of Den from Dark Horse and Fantagor. There was a delay on this. The first time this came out, audio sounds good. Beauty, thanks, man. The first time this came out, there was a misprint with it, from what I understand. So they kind of pulled back. They asked the shops to send back all the copies they had, and they went in and did something. They fixed whatever the issue was. I didn't actually read up on it. My thought was that I can't kind of believe that Dark Horse at this stage of the game, first of all, shit the bed on it. It really feels like we're only 2 books into this, and I'm skeptical of how many of these are going to come out. Similar to the dealings with Mobius, with those series of hardcovers they were doing. I'm not sure if everything they intended to release actually did come out from that Mobius hardcover. I ended up not buying them all. Missed out on a couple of them. This one I want to try to keep up with, even though from what I saw online when people were showing off interiors from this book, honestly, the coloring looked pretty outstanding in the heavy metal and the other places that it's been reprinted. I understand that Den is kind of the benchmark when it comes to Richard Corbin. It's kind of the character he's probably most well known for. I know also that you can't really do a Corbin retrospective and not include Den. I just feel like out of all of the books that they could release from Corbin's back catalog, this is probably the one that I'm kind of the least interested in. And again, when I saw kind of side-by-side comparisons, the coloring in this, like the original coloring looks really good already. I don't know how necessary it is. I think this is Villarubia on the colors on this one. I don't know how much there was for him to touch up with this series. But let's try. I should have brought a knife down. Let's try to crack this sucker open and have a little look. This will be the last thing for tonight. But like I said, I'm hoping that this Sunday, Rasa and I can get together for a chat. I think we're going to be on her channel this week. So if you are around, if you're not subscribed to her, make sure that you go find her. I'll try to remember to put a link to her channel in the description of this video as well. So there we go. Same treatment as Murky World. Let's take this fucking dust jacket off. Yeah, see? That does look sharp. Let's take this all the way off. I mean, I get dust jackets. I get it. I'm just not a fan. I'd much rather this, you know. But because this has a dust jacket and me being who I am, there's no way I can throw it out. You know, I'm going to have to keep it with the dust jacket. But, I mean, that looks much sharper in my eyes. That presentation, I think, is a bit better. Let's get some height here so we can get a better look at the whole thing. I agree. Den has been told so many times in different books they should have picked a different title. Yeah, and like I said, I think that if they did, you'd probably get a ton of people bitching and moaning about, well, why wouldn't you do Den? It's, you know what I mean? So I feel like I can understand it. I just am a bit disappointed. But I think the other thing for people like us there, Daryl, is not everybody is kind of a Richard Corbin fanatic like maybe we are to the degree that we are. So there's probably a lot of people who don't have those issues of heavy metal or don't have any of those original books where this stuff was first told. And I haven't looked recently. Forward by Jose. I haven't looked recently, so I don't know how expensive those particular volumes are these days, but maybe that's a thing too. So he's listed as the project art director on this one. It's sounds like a bullshit title if I ever heard one. Patton Oswalt. So here you go. I should have pulled out some of the issues, but whatever. I'm going to I'll eventually kind of for myself do a side-by-side. But like I said, when I was looking online, they had some good shots comparing the heavy metal to it. And there was actually a couple of pages that people picked where the coloring, to me personally, in heavy metal looked a little better than it did in this. So at the end of the day, it's great stuff. Let's find that infamous panel where he punches that guy, punches that lizard guy. It's just a classic. I think it's coming up here somewhere, isn't it? Yeah, next page maybe. Yeah, there you go. Or the lizard guy punches him. That's kind of it's the one that always stands out in my mind anyway. Like you can feel that impact of that punch. I think it's really nicely done. So I've read this a number of times. I'm sure I'll read it again now that I have the book. It's not kind of top of the list for me. Look at that, is pretty sharp too. It is nice to have this stuff in a nice hardcover for sure. Yeah, so ultimately though, I hope that they're back on track. I think I had heard for the next volume coming out, there was already some issues with it as well. And again, I'm surprised by that. Like, Dark Horse should have their shit together at this point, you'd think. So I don't really understand how a mistake in the printing can get past them. And because I'm a cynical son of a bitch, I sometimes think that stuff is done on purpose, because you know that there's copies of that quote unquote misprint out there. And I wonder how much people are selling them for, because now it's this rare item, you know? So again, that's the cynical side of me talking. I'm not saying that that's what they did on purpose. That's a me thing, but it starts to feel that way when you have a company like Dark Horse that's been around the block. It's just disappointing. I know mistakes happen. That's the way shit goes. But you'd think that at a certain point, you would have checks and balances in place. And when there's those kind of errors happening, because I do want them to get through this Den stuff, and I want them to get to some of the other books, I really should look at the list to see what else they've been looking to print, do reprints of. But I would love to see, especially now after reading that Arabian Nights book, I'd love to see a reprint of that one, because that's a fucking stunner. And it would be nice to have something like that in a nice hardcover, because those books are pretty pricey when you go to find that, or Legends of the Arabian Nights. So yeah, there you go. Let's flip to the back and see what kind of extras we have in the back here. First Ariel books, 1977. Back cover art from the 1978 version on the right-hand side there. Okay, so going to get some art from different printings. Graphic Gallery number 9 from 1976. That's a beautiful piece, that black and white one. Yeah, I mean, this is the good thing about it, and it looks like there's quite a few pages of extras. Look at that, the Grim Wit cover. That is just classic. First appearance in print of Den, Grim Wit number 2. So there you go, all you first appearance freaks. Grim Wit number 2. Yeah, look how sharp that looks. I do see the comments there. I'll get to them in 1 second. The computer's a little farther away with this setup that I have here. Hello, Gorvidal. I do see that you came in there. So that's nice. You get a bit of a gallery at the end, and then we get a write-up here at the end as well, too, by Bruce Jones and Fritz Lieber. So there you go. That's a look at it. I mean, his stuff, yeah, whatever. End up saying the same fucking thing that I say every single goddamn video. His stuff is gorgeous. There's just no two ways about it. Like, look at this. Tell me that isn't a fucking stunning image there. If you can see it without all the glare of this shitty lighting that I have here. There you go. That's a bit better. It's fucking beautiful, man. Really beautiful. He's a hell of an artist. Anyway, so there you go. That is Den. Let's see what I missed here. I I won't be buying the Dan or Murky World books. I'll settle for the OGs, but I'm glad they're available for those who are Corbin fans. Yeah, I hear you. And I mean, the main reason I'm buying them is because I want to support the company and give them incentive to keep going. I mean, because at this point, my fucking Corbin collection is just pretty goddamn huge. I'm sure yours is even more enormous there, Daryl. But part of me wants to support the company so they keep doing these. Yeah. Why'd they pick Patton Oswalt to do the introduction? To attract new Corbin readers? I know Oswalt reads and writes comics, but that's who they chose. Yeah, I don't understand the pick either. I don't know much about. I know Patton Oswalt. I know who he is. I don't know much about him, so it leads me to believe that maybe he is cited in the past as Corbin as a huge influence, or I don't really know his association with the people at Dark Horse. Maybe he's good buddies, or maybe it's just like you said. Maybe there's just a celebrity name to attach to it to try to give it more street cred to the legions of Patton Oswalt fans out there. If Oswald introduces a Crevax book, I'm joining Twitter/X and trolling Fantagraphics. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Fantagraphics, there's a new print of Palestine, Joe Sacco's Palestine, coming out right away. There's an interview with Joe Sacco and Gary Groth, I believe. I linked to it in my Instagram. I can't remember who did. Was it The Guardian that did the interview? I don't remember, but so good news, that book is coming out, because for some reason that book is all of a sudden really hard to find even at my library. So I'm glad to see that one coming out. I will be buying a copy of that for sure. I won't be passing on that this time around. I'll soon be making a quick little vid showing my entire Corbin comic collection. Oh shit, Daryl, that's awesome. I'll be there for that. For those of you who don't know, you should support Daryl D. You should go and subscribe to his channel. He's got a lot of great stuff, including Richard Corbin stuff. Okay, that's it, everybody. Thanks very much. And like I said, I hope to see you on Sunday for our usual time with Rasa for our weekly comics chat. Yeah, I don't think it'll be quick either there, Gore. It'll probably be an epic length video. All right, everybody, take it easy. Later.